Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another combined review here on Theorist with your host, JC Botero67. So we'll go ahead and kick it off with Chapter 24. In the posting that AnimeCujo put on her Facebook page, AnimeCujo, if you'd like to friend her, that'd be awesome, because you can see all like the little updates for revelations and interesting little notes she adds onto those. So in the case of Chapter 24, she wrote, Ciel versus Hannah. That might be a first in the Kuro world. And really it is. We're so used to seeing Ciel being the damsel in distress that needs to be saved, and Sebastian does like all the fighting for him. So it's interesting to see there be a turnaround. At the beginning of the chapter, they're circling each other. Eventually, Hannah says the following: Sebastian was always a vindictive bass, she snarled, before noticing the confused look being given at her comment. Oh, I see that someone has been hiding things from you. At reading that sentence, I figured, oh my gosh, she's gonna go on, she's going to basically tell Ciel, hey, guess what, your boyfriend's a demon. Of course, she didn't, but, I was kind of feeling, oh my gosh, like, maybe the confession, not so much from Sebastian, but a kind of confession that Sebastian's a demon was going to be made known to Ciel. Sebastian is making his way back to the dorm at Claude's request. Once he gets there, Claude informs him, hey, Hannah had a fight, she is on her deathbed, and he lets Sebastian know that Hannah had a run-in with the Demon Slayer. Sebastian and Hannah get to talking. She ends up telling him what happened. I went out, and he was there. He was fast, but I left a mark. You should have seen his face. He looked so adorable, doubled over in agony. Of course, this enrages Sebastian, and then Hannah gets a little bit enraged as well, and calls him a traitor, and that, he should have killed Ciel when he was told to, and not have delayed it. And this annoys Sebastian, and, gets him even more angered up that he ends up snapping her neck. And he finishes off killing her, basically. And he goes to take a walk. And he's just thinking back on everything that's happened for the past few months. Sebastian groaned quietly at the precarious situation he had created. There was really only one solution to be found. Only one way to set things on the correct path and bring order back to the chaos which had ensued. Shaking his head, he continued to wonder about the dark night, not wanting to face the reality, which in the end would result in his or Ciel's death. So that concludes Chapter 24, and now we move on to Chapter 25. It starts off with Ciel looking for Nutella. I don't want to give away too much, but as you may have heard, I am currently working on a Cielium fanfic, and so I have this idea with Nutella. And it kind of worried me a little bit because I was like, crap, AnimeCujo beat me to it, and, it is probably going to be super sexy. But, it was an idea that I had in mind, and of course I can't claim rights to it, but thankfully, AnimeCujo did not have a sexy scene with Nutella. But, I think it'd be really cool if she did that. If Ciel ever finds that tub of Nutella, AnimeCujo, I would love to see a fanfic involving Ciel, Sebastian, and Nutella. So Ciel gives up on the search, and as a result of that searching, because he was searching in like upper cabinets and kind of stretching up his arm, that kind of caused a little bit of pain to the wound. So he retrieves a little bottle of holy water, and just as he's about to apply it on himself, Sebastian is at the door. Sebastian happens to look over to the table where Ciel had left the holy water. And so here is a segment from Chapter 25. While holy water couldn't kill a demon, being doused with it was extremely painful, as it burned away at the skin and left behind seared tissue that would take a day or two to fully heal. After reading that, I thought, oh gosh, Sebastian is going to come in contact with the holy water, it's going to reveal something, but that's not what happens. So the two start kissing and making out, and Sebastian, in the meantime, is trying to kind of sneak his hand under Ciel's shirt, trying to find the injury. Ciel feels Sebastian's hand really close to it, so he's trying to push him away, stop him from touching him up. But anyway, Sebastian just lifts up the shirt, and so the gash is exposed, and so Ciel basically makes up, oh, you know, I was fencing, and I didn't have protective gear, and it was really stupid of me, and I'm not going to do that again, I promise. So, you know, Sebastian's a little bit suspicious, like, he has a suspicious look on his face. Of course, he knows the actual truth, but, you know, he can't say anything, because then that would make him suspicious, and then it just gets all crazy. So eventually, Ciel mentions that Spears gave him some medicine to treat the wound with. And Ciel gets an idea, like, hey, it's my birthday, why don't you apply the medicine on me? And of course, the medicine is the holy water, which Sebastian can't touch. And so Sebastian's like, you know, having this debate in his mind. Like, he can't say yes because it would mark his fingers, and Ciel would realize that he isn't human, and, you know, it all goes to shiitakes. But he can't deny the birthday boy what he wants. So Sebastian asks for a first aid kit because he doesn't want to spread germs on the wound. And Ciel finds it a bit suspicious, but he lets it slide. He tells him where the first aid kit is, and Sebastian treats it. Nothing happened to his fingers or anything. Nothing was revealed. And then, of course, the most awaited moment, another sexy scene with Ciel and Sebastian. And as Ciel said himself, it was unlike any other job. And, you know, it was great. I would have never really thought about a fanfic having that, like a yaoi fanfic having that. You know, I would have never thought about it myself, but I really liked the idea. And it was hot. Just saying. Now, if it were Cielium, I don't know. I'm trying to think. But seriously, no. Sub-Ciel, I love Sub-Ciel. I don't mean to bash on them. They're a hot couple. But moving on. There's a bit of like a time skip thing to Ciel being asleep, having this dream with Rachel, his mother. I came to warn you, Ciel. He's too close already. The deception can only hide so much of his true nature. Trust your instincts. Even now, in the stillness of the night, he slumbers peacefully nearby. There are ways to reveal the true evil hidden beneath the surface. So Ciel wakes up from the dream, realizing it is a prophecy dream. He looks over at Sebastian, who's still asleep, and, you know, Ciel's smiling upon him. And that's when the message that Rachel gave him in his dream hits him. And he's worried that she is talking about Sebastian. And so, you know, because Ciel had some doubts, but, you know, he's like, I can't prove those. You know, he can't pinpoint Sebastian being the one that he can't trust, who's deceiving him, etc. And I do want to conclude with the author's note. What is Ciel going to do now that he's starting to question what Sebastian is hiding? And why was Rachel being all cryptic? You know, I was thinking about it. We could be deceived into thinking that she is talking about Sebastian, but, you know, maybe she's talking about Claude. Because Claude is still alive, he might still try to hurt Ciel, you know, take the matter into his own hands, because Sebastian isn't going to do it anytime soon. But it doesn't make too much sense with the message that she gave. It has to be Sebastian, because that's the one who Ciel trusts the most, and, you know, Rachel had mentioned he's too close already. Claude, Ciel, close, not so much. They can't stand each other, so it wouldn't be that. But as to why she's being cryptic, I mean, you know, Ciel has to kind of figure it out on his own. He can't get all the answers in the dream. As to the first one, you know, maybe Ciel will talk to Sebastian and bring up the fact like, oh, but see, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't mention the fight with Hannah. That's a tough question. So, I leave it to you guys to tell me what you guys think, what you guys predict. But anyway, I do want to conclude by hoping you guys had a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful Kwanzaa, or a wonderful Hanukkah, which happened way back when. And I hope you all had a wonderful time ringing in the new year, 2014. So that being said, I bid you farewell for reals now, and I will catch you in the next review.